Very good morning to each and everyone. I can see our honorable speakers have already joined the session. We will wait for more time to let others join, and we are going to start our today's session shortly.
ꯑꯗꯩ ꯅꯪꯉꯣꯟꯗ ꯃꯇꯝꯗꯨꯗ 아닌데.
Yeah.
So we are back again to start the second day of our today's session. I think I'm audible to everyone. Yes, okay. So a very good morning to each and everyone present over here. Myself, Parikshit Das, Assistant Professor of Pharmaceutical Chemistry, Assam Downtown University. So After a wonderful session yesterday, today we are ready to begin our second session. I welcome all the delegates, the faculty members, all the participants and the students who have joined today in the second session of the Virtual Scientific Conclave 2021. So, comprehensive platform to discuss on the topic related to science and technology. So it is a 3-day webinar series organized by Faculty of Pharmaceutical Science, Assam Downtown University, in association with Defense Research Laboratory, DRDO, Tejpur, Assam. So after a wonderful session yesterday from our invited guests, Dr. Tapan Kumar Maiti, Dr. Harshvardhan Batra and Dr. Pranav Ghosh, who have delivered brilliant lectures on the topics related to novel biotechnological approaches for healthcare, recent approaches in medicinal plant research, and the chemistry and technology of multifunctional additives. So we are looking forward to kickstart the second day of our today's session with the same spirit and enthusiasm. And it's a great pleasure for me to introduce our speakers for today, Dr. Sonali Roy ma'am, Dr. Dansrang Gueri sir, and Dr. Y.D. Bhutia sir. So I would like to express my deepest sense of gratitude to welcome Dr. Sonali Roy ma'am as our first speaker. She will be delivering a lecture on the topic Introduction to Innovation Roadmap. So I would like to request ma'am to kindly take over the session. Please, ma'am.
Good morning to one and all, and thanks for the introduction of the session. So, yesterday, the last lecture, Dr. Ghosh was discussing one thing that you have to do research on something which will be acceptable by the uh, industry. So, that is the main thing where you should start your research. So I will just discuss something about this so that it will be easy to think that what you will research on in your future and how to commercialize the thing, because it should come to the society so that our society will be benefited by the scientific community. Okay, so with that I will start my lecture. Let me share my screen first.
Ma'am, I would like to interrupt you a bit. I would
Yes.
like to interrupt you a bit. So, a brief introduction about ma'am. Dr. Sonali Roy, ma'am, is currently working as an incubation manager at the National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, Guwahati. Dr. Roy completed her master's and has obtained her PhD from Bharati University. So, while working as a research associate, she was elected for prestigious GSPS postdoctoral fellowship from the government of Japan and moved to Atmospheric Ocean Research Institute, University of Tokyo in 2007. She joined Bharati University as a guest faculty and served till 2019. Later, she moved to Naipur Guwahati as incubation manager and has undergone various startup experiences with different capacities and also working as advisor for several startups in northeastern India. So she also got professional training for IPR in pharma R&D and technology transfer from FICCI and National Biopharma Mission. She also served as a principal investigator of R&D projects from several reputed national funding agencies. She has published more than 30 research papers in reputed international journals, books, proceedings, and having 2 patents as an inventor. She also received the JSPS travel grant as a visiting scientist of the University of Tokyo and is a life member of Indian JSPS Alumni Associate. So she's having a deep interest in areas such as technology commercialization, product development, cell and molecular signaling, etc. So a very inspiring biodata, ma'am. You can continue now, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. So let me share my screen first. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, ma'am, we can see.
Okay, thank you. So thanks for kind introduction. Yes, I'm working at in Naipur Guwahati as an incubation manager. Our incubation center, it's funded by BioNist, DBT Birac, and it was started in 2019. And slowly we are going to a bigger step from the initiation to the establishment. Okay, so today, uh, may I please request other participants to mute themselves so that I can be audible to others. Okay, thank you. So the topic of my lecture is Introduction to Innovation Roadmap. Actually, innovation is uh, it's actually to solve the problem. Okay, so it's not just the thing that whether while working we have invented something or we have not. It's not like that. If you want to innovate and if you want to commercialize your innovation, you have to think about the problems which is present in our day to day life, and then you have to find out the solution of the problem. And when your solution exactly fit with the problem like a jigsaw puzzle, then it will actually solve the problem, and that innovation will be extremely beneficial for our society. Okay, so whenever you think of any research program or any projects, first of all you think that what problem you are going to solve. So with that, I will start my lecture today. So see, there is two type of technology you can introduce in the market. One is that technology push. You have invented something which is not available in the market, and yes, you think that yes, it is useful, and you can push the technology to the market, and people if feel it's useful, they can just accept it. For example, before coming to that iPad, iTunes, or this small sort of gadget which is which people use for the music long back. So that time people was not think about this. It can be comes in a small pen drive sort of thing, but that was pushed by the Apple. So it was a technology push. But sometimes that society need some new technology, and if you invent something which will just solve that problem, then it we said that technology pull. Okay, so if it is a technology push, then your technology should be very very innovative, and then it should solve some, or it should give some benefit to the people who actually didn't think of that is, but they can accept with these things very quickly. So technology, if you want to push some technology, it will be very much innovative and effective or beneficial. At the same time, when it is technology pull, of course you have to think about the problem, you just give the solution, and the society will accept your technology very quickly. So this is two type of technology in the management jargon. Okay, so we are talking about the benefit now. When we compare about the feature and the benefit of the technology, that primarily we think that yes, we can add some features, then it will be acceptable by the society. But it's not from me. Actually, there are the management fraternities all over the world. They have researched on it, and they have just find out that yes, the benefit is the thing which is acceptable by the society, not the features. If you add some features, okay, features is okay, but it may not be acceptable, or it may not be a push for the society. But if it is some benefit, if society feel that yes, there is some benefit in there in your technology, they can be benefited, of course they will accept it. So when you these features and benefit, there is a balance, and benefit is more, it will be acceptable in the society. If you think that your technology will be acceptable to the society, then you have to go for the need gap analysis. Okay, so what is need gap analysis? Suppose that there is some current state, and there is some problem in that state, and they desired something, so society desired something. So from the current state to the desired state, there will be some gap, and you have to access that what is the gap. then you have to find out some idea, or you have to give some innovation which will bridge the gap between the current status and the desired state. Okay, and when you find out this need gap, you can go for the action plan. Okay, so in this way you have to think. So from the benefit, then you have to go for the need gap analysis, and from the need gap analysis, suppose you get some idea, and if you think that yes, it can bridge the gap, then you have to go for a market survey. Okay, so always before doing some research, if you think about the research which will be commercialized, then you have to do the market survey. And in the market survey, you can find some type of people which we said avant-garde, that is the innovators and early adopters. You can see that some people, they are loving the gadgets, so any gadgets, if it's come in the society, they just grab it. And then this portion of the people, these avant-gardes, you have to go to them whether they have accepting your proposals or your solution or not. But there are people in the market who will be pragmatists, then there may be conservatives and skeptics. So always try to uh, not consider the uh, thoughts of the laggards, that skeptic laggards, because these people, they never try for a new technology in the market. So always, and the majority conservatives also. So this 50, that beginning 50%, among them, these about 16-17%, these avant-gardes, you have to identify these people, and then you have to discuss about your technology, and this will give you the market survey data. Okay, so now you have the idea, and you have done the need gap analysis, then you have done the market analysis. Okay, then you have to think about the balance between the cost and utility. Okay, suppose you have invented or you have some idea, and you are going to develop the POC, and then there is some utility for the customer. Then you have to think that what should be the cost of your product, and what benefit society will get from this. So there will be a fine balance in this. In the cost analysis, one thing I just want to inform you, that most of the scientists, they won't think about the all the hidden cost of the product. For example, if you have invented something, you have done the uh, POC in your lab, and you are calculating the price. So while calculating the price, most of the time, what people do, they just think about the raw material. Okay, this much the price of the raw material, and this much I am getting the product. So just simply they calculate the price. But here are many things which you have to calculate. Suppose, first of all, the electricity, the water connection, establishments. So all these things are paid by the institute or the university. So you have to think all these things while manufacturing, because you have to pay for this. Second thing, suppose there is a scientist who is invented something, and some manpower, for example, his PhD scholars or any technical staff or any postdoc working on this, an institute or any funding agencies, they are paying for their salary. But when you just develop this, or if you produce this in the industry, you have to give a huge manpower cost. So these things also the things you should calculate in the product. Okay, and then there will be the promotional cost, the marketing cost, and these all type of expenditure should be included when you do the cost analysis. So after doing this cost analysis, then you have to think what is the utility you are giving to the society or the public people. Yes, one more thing, while cost analysis, there is another thing, that is scaling up. When you are going to do this in the laboratory, you need a lot of money because you are doing a single or maybe in a handful of things. But when you do it in the industry, there it will be a large scale production, and when you go for the large scale production, of course the cost will be reduced. So that thing also you have to calculate. Okay, accordingly you have to do the cost calculation, and then you have to just find out the threshold where the scale of production you can decide, okay, this much production if we can do throughout the year, and if we can just sell the product in this cost, then we can get the benefit or the turnover. Okay, and then just the public, whether they are able to pay or they are interested to pay. So these things are the thing. So when this is a high cost thing, and the utility also depends on what type of or what class of people are will be interested for your product, then accordingly you have to set the price also. So if you want to, if it is very costly and a premium price you have to take, then you have to just focused on the customer who are in the that type of class, they belongs to that class. Or if it is a low cost thing and benefit a huge number of people in the society, then you have to target the middle class people. So according to your product, you have to target the people and the societal that position, and then you have to finalize the cost of your product. And then there will be some critical success factor. So as I already discussed about the price definition, then there will be some competitive analysis. What is competitive analysis? So you have to find out if the similar type of things are available in the market. If the similar type of things available in the market and your things is not at all competitive in cost side or any other benefit, then you should not go for this innovation. Okay, so if your product is really beneficial and there will be no competitor in this case, you can go for further steps. Then there will be the regulatory affairs. So always, if you go for the products, especially for healthcare products, nutraceuticals, agro products, food grade products, so all those things you have to pass through a critical regulatory affairs. Sometimes if it is a nutraceuticals or food material, you have to go through the FA, FSSI regulations. If it is a herbal products, then you have to go to Ayush, and if it is pharmaceutical products, then or medical devices, you have to go to the CDSCO and other respective regulatory agency. So first of all, you have to think about the, if it is a pharma sort of thing, then you have to think about the efficacy and the toxicity, and then the regulatory affairs. Okay, so this is another thing. And the final and the foremost thing is the customer satisfaction, which is the key thing of your product. So if you, if people buy your products, whether they can be satisfied, and that you can get a glimpse in your market survey, which I have already discussed. So after all these things, you have to just develop the technology, and in that case there is some technology readiness level or TRL. The TRL actually first defined by the NASA, American Space Agency, and now the TRL just came to any sort of innovative or commercialization project. So this TRL, you just think you have to learn little bit of TRL, because when you apply for any project, commercialization project or any technology transfer or that sort of project, actually nowadays all the funding agencies, they are asking that in which TRL your project is now, and during the project in which TRL you are going to complete. Okay, so accordingly there will be the different type of funding or funding scheme or funding agencies. So what is TRL1? TRL1 just the basic research. Okay, so basic principles are observed and reported, that is TRL1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, total 9 TRL level will be there. And after the ninth level you just go to the market. So in the ninth level, that the system will be ready for full scale deployment. Normally the early stage product schemes like big or this type of things, or maybe the sitare, that pre early stage schemes, they are thinking about the TRL1 and TRL2. So in the big, normally you just go to from TRL1 or TRL2 to TRL4, 5 or 6. Okay. So there are some more advanced project in the where people are thinking about to TRL5, 6 to TRL8, 9. So there is different schemes according to that. So this thing you have to just analyze about your product. Then the things come that the fundraising. So okay, your market survey is ready now, your cost analysis is ready, your cost benefit balancing you have done, you have just done the customer survey and everything. Then you are you have now analyzed the TRL levels from which level to which level you want to go. Now you have to think about the fundraising. So as I told, in the every stage of technology development and commercialization, you will get different type of funds. Okay, so in the very early stage ideation, there will be SIIP, EIR, and POC stage, there will be big, and then prototype stage there will be many other funds, and then scaling up also you can get different type of fund or the schemes from different funding agencies. And of course there will be CSR fund, company social responsibility, there will be startup funds, and angel investors, and those things though always will be there. But of course these angel investors or these investors, they will take up the technology in the later stage, not in the early stage. Okay, and very important thing that you should not always think about the this government funding or this type of funding. Always friend and family you first approach to them, just start with them, then you approach for the fund. Okay, so these are the basic things, and when you just think about the whole project, you have just chalked down everything, your plan is ready, and you have just raised the fund, then you have prepared your prototype, then you can think about the commercialization. So what commercializations means, there can be two different type of things. Okay, so first it can be R&D institutes or academia. So in most of the cases R&D institutes and academia, they are just what they will do, they just license the product to any other agencies or any other industry who are in the similar type of business. Of course sometimes they can open the spin up company. Okay, and in case of startups they can go for manufacturing and sell, or they can license their product to any other company, or of course you can sell your startup to a bigger company, the whole company you can sell to them. Okay, so normally these are the basic types of commercialization which you can think. And this is just the roadmap, preliminary roadmap I have discussed. So just a little bit I want to discuss about our incubation center, then I will go directly how to write the project, especially the big project which is now open, that national big grant, that I'll go. Okay, so our incubation center, it is actually open to all northeastern people, anybody, faculties and students, startups, any enthusiast who are going to establish their startups and go for entrepreneurship. We are encourage all of them. Of course, since it is NIPER, so our primary focus is healthcare, but we are actually Since we are in the beginning, we are encouraged any type of project at this moment. Okay. So what are the special steps we have adopted for our Naipur Guwahati? Actually, we are working in the four different stages, four different parameters or area. First is mentorship and technical advisory. We have a mentor pool, and then we have the infrastructure also. Accordingly, we used to provide the legal help, and then we are going to financial help to getting the financial assistance, and the corporate help. So mainly these four areas we used to work, that we just define as technical, legal, financial, and commercial. So what are the things I just discuss a little. So in the technical, we have the infrastructure like a lab space, office space, instrumentation facilities, and 10,000 square feet area dedicated for the incubation center. And along with that, the incubators can use the animal house, culture room, computer center, conference room, library, anything. So this is the basic infrastructure we used to provide. And of course, we have many equipments, and most of them are chemistry and healthcare related. Also, we have collaboration with lot of institutes and the companies, universities all over India and even abroad also. Okay, so these actually help to develop the mentor pool of the Naipur Guwahati. So we have an excellent advisory pool, and we actually used to just network between the MNCs, SMEs, IGOs, NGOs, financial sectors, and government, so that we our incubators and the startups, they can get the, they can leverage the our network. Okay, so this is just about the technical part. And in the legal support, we used to help for patenting, tech transfer, regulatory affairs, incorporation of startups. These things we used to help for the legal. And for financials, as BIRAC have, the main thing is, since we are funded from BIRAC, we encourage people to apply for different type of BIRAC funds. They have different type of funds for different stages. For example, the ideation, then idea, then POC, early development, late state development. These type of funds are available, like seed fund, leap fund, AC fund, PCU fund. There are different type of funds, and from the students to the uh, elderly faculty members, anyone can apply, including the staffs, technical persons. Anyone can apply for any type of fund. Actually, we, depending on the projects, we just advise which fund you should go, and then what type should be your applications. Okay, so as I told that there will be the most flagship program of BIRAC is BIG grant, BIG National Biotechnology Ignition Grant. It is about 50 lakhs, and time is 18 months. I'm sorry, there is a typing mistake. And for big NER, there is grant in aid up to 25 lakhs, and the time is 24 months. Big NER, actually last year they just opened the first time big NER, and next big NER will come soon. For the commercial support, we just help for the training, then orientation, innovation assessment, business plan. So all those things we used to help the startups and the incubators, so that in the later stage, when you they go to the market, their risk should be minimized. Okay, and so these are the basic things which we used to do in our incubation center. And just I want to tell you that if you want to go for any commercialization project or this type of thing, you should, of course, you always take help of any commercialization or technology management expert, innovation management expert. You should always contact with them, and according to their advice, you should prepare your things. Okay, so after that, with this brief introduction of Naipur Guwahati, I just want to go directly to the biotechnology ignition grant. it actually now it is open, that big 18th call. Okay, so last date is February 15, and till now that big grant, they have supported more than 550 ideas, and this is the 18th call. Before every year there will be two calls. So first started in 2012, and it's a funding support for the research project that aims to establish and validate the POC for promising and innovative technology or idea with commercialization potential. So this is very important. There your technology should be innovative, as well as there will be the commercialization potential. And the aim of the grant is potential promoting novel cutting edge ideas that are and have social impact. So always remember, it should be market driven, so you have to do the market analysis before that. And the grantee need, as I told you, for the in national and big area, two different level. Who can apply? Individuals, they can be students, academicians, scientists, clinicians, researchers. Anyone can apply. The basic qualification is the graduation. Okay. And this biotech startups, they can also apply, who is less than 5 years old. That is startup. According to government of India's definition, the startups who are less than 5 years old, they can apply. Actually, big NER or big national grant open twice in a year. Once is from 1st January to 15th of February, and another is 1st July to 15th of August. And everything you have to do in online by byrac.nic.in, according to the their format. Okay. So why I am just emphasizing on big grant? See, this is the geographical distribution of the big applications. You can see that Karnataka, Maharashtra, Delhi, Gujarat, they have lot. They just apply like anything. They have any idea, they apply. But while comparing the Assam, Arunachal, Meghalaya, and these northeastern states, they really maybe no or very less number of applications. So this is the reason why the BIRAC just opened that special big NER grant. And you will be happy to know that last big NER grant, where BIRAC thought that maybe they can receive maybe 20-30 applications, but finally they have received the 110 applications, and with very good ideas. And among them, 44 they went to the final level, and 10 of them was funded. Okay, so Northeast, there can be very innovative biotech products. So it's raising and creating its landmark, and all the incubation centers in Northeast, and of course we National Sniper Guwahati, we are just trying to develop the biotech ecosystem, biotech innovation ecosystem at Northeast. And I encourage all to go for the idea and apply for it. Okay, so what are the thrust areas of big? What type of applications you can do? So big, actually there is a wide area from agriculture to drugs and vaccines, healthcare devices and diagnostics, then bioenergy, industrial biotechnology, waste management, nutraceuticals, data analysis. So all those things actually comes under big thrust areas. So anyone, if you have any this type of idea, you can apply for big grant. I just want to give a glimpse how it works. It actually uh, between the big grantee and the big partner. So one important element of design and implementation of big, that has been its partnership and more function. Okay, so in the big NER, keep TBI, actually it's a BRTC, Birac Regional Training Center. Birac has chosen them as a big partner for the total Northeast and Eastern region. And they actually check the eligibility, and they review the proposal, then they distribute the funds to grantees, then monitoring the project, mentoring and networking, then they facilitate the further follow-on funding. So this is their work, and here our incubation center, they just do the groundwork to prepare and to uh, uh, create the awareness to the whole northeastern area. Okay, so what is the selection process of big? First, there will be some eligibility check. In the eligibility check, there will be 3 points. One is that whether your application fit with the scheme or not. So first is scheme fit, then there whether there is adequate data is there, and third thing is the plagiarism. Okay, so first check is the eligibility check, which will go through the primary screening committee. Then second is the blind peer review. It will go to 3 to 5 experts, and depending on their opinion, it actually selects for the next step. The third step is the technical evaluation panel or technical expert panels. You have to present in front of them, and finally it will be sanctioned by the BIRAC New Delhi. Okay, so this is the primary selection process of the big. And now I will go and discuss how to write the grant, especially this type of grant. Okay, so first I will discuss about the fundamentals of grant writing. Then I will discuss about the B grant, what are the things and what every points how to write. I will discuss in a brief. Okay, so grant writing, it's not an just idea; it's a plan, and you are the person who can control the decision depending on your writing. Okay, so this is the basic fundamentals of grant writing. So, if we go for the rule book for the grant seekers, first rule: do not write the application for yourself. Do not write the application for scientific specialist. Okay, you must convince the entire reviewer committee and the funding agency. This is the main thing. You have to convince the reviewer. So when reviewer is convinced, then only they will just recommend you for the next level or for the funding. Okay, and while thinking about the reviewers, the main thing, rule 2, you just remember that reviewers do not read your application because they want to. Okay, but reviewers read your application because they have to, because they are reviewer, they have to read your application. So it should be very, very attractive, so that reviewer will be attractive to your application. They will be go through, they can go through your applications. If it is very boring, they may not read even. Rule 3: reviewers can't read your mind. They cannot read your mind because they are not in front of you. If you don't tell them, they will not know that you intend to say what you intend to say. So you have to be very clear in your grant writing that what you want to say and what you are going to do. Okay, then rule 4: reviewers are never wrong, and reviewers are never right also. They simply provide an assessment of material that you provide in application. So it all depends on your material, how much you have given, and what they are thinking of your material. Okay, and rule 5: the reviewer's feedback comments never about as a person. If you are not successful, never ever think that this feedback comments is against you. The comments are about the information provided in application and the way in which you provided. So you have to be very, very careful of the reviewer comments if you are not successful. And if you, even if you are successful for the next level, you will get the reviewers comment. You have to think on the reviewers comment, and then accordingly you have to modify your application and apply again. Okay, this is not only for big grant, it is for any grant or any paper, or always, you always remember this. Okay, and the next is build your team. See, if you may be very, very good in biotechnology, you may be very, very good in chemistry, you may be very, very good in regulatory, but you may not be good in marketing, you may not be good in innovation management. So you can't alone do the whole work. It is a commercialization work. It's as not at all as doing research in your lab, in your workbench. Okay, it's a huge thing. So always you have to find out the like-minded person and experts who can give you advice and who can be your teammates, and just build your team and go for it. Okay. And next is always contact the funding agency before you submit your application. Okay. So, and give yourself and staffer enough time to work together. I always ask all the applicants, whoever take LOI from us, I always ask them, please send your application to us so that we can think of it. We can just modify it according to the grant so that you can apply for it and the success rate will be increased. So this is the basic structure of big application. There will be a online submission. First there will be title, and there will be summary, then objective and proposed approach, team, novelty, opportunity, challenges of risk factor associated, preliminary work done, future plan of commercialization, then intellectual property, how will and handle it. If you have done some groundwork, then what is the reference, and budget details and justifications. These are the main structure of the big application. And of course, there will be some more things which are not included in the basic structure. You can provide some files or some additional information. Okay. But always remember that ultimately it is selling of your idea to the funding agency. Okay. So if you can convince the funding agency, then they can give you the fund. Just you have to sell your idea. Okay. So first of all, if you go for the title is very important. You should think about the catchy title, which is creative, and at the same time it will be concise. It should be clearly convey what the project is about, because title is the most important thing when reviewer will go through this, and then they will be interested or be bored of your projects or your proposal. It is often used to assign review groups, because if the title, in from the title, people will, I mean, big partner office, they will just think of, okay, this is the title, then this can go to these reviewers. So according to your title, it will go to the reviewer. So if it is go to a different mindset, a reviewer with a different expertise, then of course your success rate will be reduced. Okay. And always remember, you should not add the words like analysis of study of this that. These things you should always avoid while writing the title. Okay. And you should use the keywords that highlight the novelty and impact of work, such as novel, cost effective, user friendly. So these actually show the value proposition of your product. So it should be very clear from your title. So title is the very important thing. A good title is a clearly written statement that states the problem and the solution you are proposing. So your title should be very good, and remember all these things in your mind. Then comes the problem statement. So in the very beginning, I just told that you have to find out the solutions of the problem. So this is very important thing. So it should be very simple, and it should not be like this that yes, I have built a hammer, now I shall start looking for a nail. No, it should not be like this. There should be a nail, and then you should, then society need a device to fix the nail. Then you should think about the thing which can be a hammer sort of thing, or which can be a hammer, and just fix the nail. So it should not be like that I have invented something, now I am searching for the things where I can use it. Okay. And in the problem statement, you have to think about the context, the impact, the root causes, who does it impact, your solution, who does it impact, and then current alternatives, what is there, why are the alternatives not sufficient, the alternative which is available in the market, why they are not sufficient. Actually, these things already I have discussed in my beginning slides. Okay, and then you have to find out the inadequacies in the solution which is already available in the market, and then you have to give the adequate solution to the society. Okay, so this the problem statement. Next things will be objectives and the milestones. Okay, what is this? Do not claim too many things that I want to do, because the time is very short. In the national it is 18 months and the big NER it is 24 months. So if you say that toxicity study and then efficacy study and this analysis, so of course from the title itself reviewer can think that no, this is not possible to do within 18 months. So these projects or this POC will not be commercialized, will not be possible to commercialize within the due time. Okay, so this is very important, and your targeting parameters will be very short and very clear. You have to spell out this. Okay, there should not be any ambiguity. And then there will be approach where you have to write the methodology, how you are going to do this. So these are the objectives and milestones and approach and team. As I told you that team is very important. Bhairac also encourage you to apply as a team. And if you go to the big guideline, you can see there is a huge mark depends on the team structure. Okay, so team should be well rounded with people from different skill set, so that any each and every person can take care of their specific area and the whole area can be covered. Okay, so next you are also suggested to include the hospital name if you are going to do any device or any patient related things, and then fabrications if it is required. So you have to think about the your idea where you need what type of people is there. And of course you should always think about the business. You should think about the innovation professionals or business mentor and marketing persons who actually help you for the commercialization and just help you for the marketing and everything. Okay, and the next thing is the novelty. It's very, there should be very innovative elements in your project so that they can be interested for this, and they can just give you the grant. Okay, how it is better than your competitors, as already I have discussed about the competition landmark. Then what will make you different, that is also very important. Okay, for example better performance, or it is low cost, you can get it faster. Suppose if you want to invent, or you can just develop a process. Suppose one manufacturing takes 40 days in the industry. If you can make it within 2 days, then the faster, so industry will just profit from the labor cost itself, 38 days labor cost. So there will be faster, that can be another thing, or more efficient or effective, maybe with new capabilities. So these are actually your value proposition. So novelty, what is innovative, and the value proposition, what is this. And then preliminary work done. If you have already done some work, then you have to give it. Okay, and you can give supporting evidence, publications, or the IPR filing report, or anything you can add. And as I discussed about the TRL level, you should clearly mention that in what stage your project is now. Okay, so that is very important. You have to just find out in what stage your project is. You can get help of any innovation professionals for the assessment. And then if it is in ideation stage or have done a bit of preliminary experiments, got positive results, then if you get some positive results, then it will corroborate the technical feasibility of the proposed work. Sometimes you can think about some ideas, but it may not be feasible to produce it for the production of the thing. So technical feasibility is another thing. And then if you are developing device or diagnostics, then the regulatory measures, so that is also important, which I have already discussed. Okay, then comes the IP strategy. Okay, so it is always advisable that if you have just done the preliminary work and if you received the positive results, then you should apply for the provisional patent before applying for the grant, so that it will protect your idea. It will, I mean, your IPR will be with you, no one can steal your idea. So this is very important. And before patenting, you just do a thorough patent analysis. This patent analysis will also help you that whether your project is novel or not, your idea is novel or not. And then you can go for, depending on the analysis, you can go for patenting or design registration or anything according to your idea, you can go for it. And then yes, one more important thing is who shall own it. If it is startup, it should be startup. If you belongs to an university or institute, that patentee will be the university of the institute host organization and you will be the inventor. So all those things actually that patent professionals will help you. And of course the incubation centers, we also help them to these things. And next, as I talked about the value proposition, that value proposition refers the USP, unique selling point, or the unique advantages of your product as compared to similar products or technologies available in markets. Okay, for example, better performance, lower cost, faster. Already I have discussed this. And if you have developed a medtech device, then it can be used an alternative surgical produces, maybe non-invasive, and then point of care of device, more efficient, affordable. So all those things comes under this value proposition. Okay, and then you have to go for the opportunity and then the outcome, that what will the project contribute to our community or society, what will be the utility of the product, whether it has been health benefit or economic or environmental benefits. You should clearly and briefly state the importance of the problem being addressed and potential impact it solves. So these comes under the opportunity. Hmm. If you are building a diagnostic kit to identify prostate cancer early, then the opportunity is the number of patients suffering from the disease in India and globally, and also how the diagnostic kit is better than the similar kits is available in the market. So these are the value proposition and these are the opportunities. Okay, so there will be the challenges and risk factors, as I told you that if you do the market survey and everything, it will lower the risk. So what are the risks? Maybe in your projects you have to identify and how you can overcome the risk. All those things you can write in your project. And then comes the business model. So what is the market size, who are your customer, then what should be your revenue model, what is the target price. So all those things you have to do the analysis, and then you have to write these things in the business model of the grant. Then there will be a timeline and work plan of the big grant. Remember that depending on the timeline and the work plan, then phase by phase BIRAC is going to release the fund. Okay, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, like that. So according to this, you have to find out, you have to just write down the timeline and what you are going to do in this timeline. This is, you have to state clearly. And then the budget justification. If it is a big national, then there will be 50 lakhs of amount. You can take 13 to 15 lakhs of equipments, similar for manpower, consumables, and rentals of the incubation centers up to 7 lakh, then travel up to 1 lakh, then IPR. If you want to file patent with this, BIRAC will support about 1.5 lakh of rupees for patent searching and the application. You can get some contingency, and you should have some outsourcing prices, because everything is not possible to do within the short time. You have to do some outsource of your work. Okay, so altogether it will come to 50 lakhs. This is the basic structure or budget, and each and everything you have to give the justification. Okay, so this is the basic thing of the BIRAC big grant. So actually you have to go to the root cause, and then you have to personify the impact, and it has on the end users context. So what we say is the contextualizing. So this is the main thing of the big grant. And just with this I want to share the examples of the successful big grant. Actually Naipur Guwahati till now already received one big national incubator, and the last big NER, as I told you, from the big NER 10 actually 10 projects were supported by the big by the BIRAC, and five of them received by the Naipur Guwahati incubators. So one by one, I just want to give you an idea. So what type of projects actually funded? First of all, it is Green Biotic Eco Solutions. It is developed by two ladies. They have just invented some livestock management product which will actually reduce the death of the juvenile animals. So the title is the industry scale development of probiotic formulations for livestock management. See, industry scale development. So title is really very informative. Okay, and then livestock management, probiotic formulation. So these are the keywords which we should use these type of things depending on. Next one is a startup Simbika. He is a fellow from Assam only. Uh, he proposed a market ready adaptive myoelectric hand using sensory feedback. He is also supported the big NER. Then Dr. Sanjay Banerjee, he is basically from Naipur Guwahati, is associate professor. He just going to his project title is developing nutritional product from Musa Balbishiana. Actually he is proposed for baby food as well as supplement for the adults with the indigenous Bhim call of Assam. Okay, so he is Deepak Bharadwaj. He is also from Naipur Guwahati. He is in technical staff, and he is going to develop bioactive herbo nanoceutical for protothermal ablation of tumor cells. This will be effective in human as well as in the veterinary sectors. Okay, this is the herbal thing. And there is another person, he's Dr. Boxwer. He is a RA in Nehu, Shillong. His title is Multiplex PCR based diagnostic kit for rapid identification of causative pathogenic organisms in CESOM, a chronic infection of middle ear cleft. So these five people, they received the big NER. Yes, of course, another five people is there. One from IASST, another from NIS Jorhat, two from IIT Guwahati, and one more from Meghalaya. So these are the 10 people who received the big NER first lot. And he's Dr. Pritam Chattopadhyay. He was from Guwahati University. He was a DS Kothari fellow, and he applied for scale up of natural identical vanillin production from biotransformation of agro waste. So he received actually big national 50 lakhs grant to develop this, and he's already started his work. Okay, so these are the people who already received the big grant, and I think that of course if you have the enthusiasm, you can, you also can be successful to get a commercialization grant, and you can just commercialize your product. This is my thinking. So we are always happy to share or to mentor anyone from downtown university to go for this. And in the acknowledgement part, of course I must acknowledge the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Science and downtown university to organize such type of seminars and identify the speakers which actually help the students and the faculty in future. Okay. I also want to acknowledge Bairak Bionist and Bairak BRTC, which is situated in KIT TPI. Uh, for the data information we used to get from them, and also I just want to acknowledge some of the slides I have taken from the internet, so I must acknowledge. Okay, so if you have any question or anything, you can send a mail or you can send any you can call me also at any time. Okay, so I'm stopping my sharing slides, and if there is any question, yes, I'm happy to answer.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very
for
much.
patient sharing.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for the wonderful session. It was very informative to all of us, and I think it will really ignite the young minds who are willing to do research and have been planning to start the startups with their creative ideas. So, with your permission, ma'am, if I could start the question and answer session.
Yes, please.
Okay, so if anybody is having any question, they can write it in the chat box so that I could let you in, and or else they can directly ask our speaker if anybody is having any question.
Good morning, ma'am. This is Dr. Ananta Chaudhary speaking from Assam University.
Yeah.
First of all, let me convey my sincere thanks for accepting our invitation and sharing such a wonderful topic with us. It is indeed a topic very much pertinent with the theme of our webinar series. And I'm having one queries onto your topic of discussion. Ma'am, you have already said about the different fund which is can be procured or provided by the big banners. Now, first of all, the question is whether the fund is provided based on the product or based on the research idea which may be required for further inculcation and moving towards the commercialization of the product.
So as I told that there are different type of schemes from different funding agencies. Today I have discussed only about the BIRAC, but there are different funding agencies like Mighty and then MSME and DST also, they have different funds. So many funding agencies are there. But it actually depend on the your project, whether it is in ideation stage, pre-idea stage, or it is in POC stage, or it is in developed stage, late POC stage. So depending on the project, actually we suggest people to apply for the required fund. There are some more funds for the faculties also, like PACE, and funds for students like Sitare. Different type of funding options are available, but depending on your level and all, of course the level of your project, we just advise to apply accordingly. For big project, it is specially for ideation to POC.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Uh, so one more question I have received in the chat box is that how to do the market analysis, ma'am. You have mentioned about the market analysis. So how to do the market analysis actually, ma'am? If you could enlighten us.
So actually, as I told you, that you have to go to the avant-gardes and you have to discuss about the project. But my opinion is it is not always possible for the academicians to do it properly. So in my opinion, you should always just contact a specific marketing person or the innovation management person who can help you in this. It is not a one man army, it should not be a one man army, it is not a one man job or one expertise job. Commercialization is a very diverse work, and you should have a very good team for this.
And one more question from my side, ma'am. How to approach those funding agencies, ma'am, to avail that?
Of course, direct application you can send, but for example, for big, you have to take a letter of intent from an incubation center for example, Naipur Guwahati. So if you can approach us, we just issue the LOC, and at the same time, we can issue the LOI, and at the same time, if you just want, we are ready to mentor you. So how to write the proposal, what are the things, what are things to do. So these are the job of the incubation center.
Okay. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. It was great to have you with us in the session, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So
Well,
with this,
with the permission of the body, and of course, I'll take. I don't want to miss this opportunity to thank Dr. Sonali Roy for her excellent session. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so
And
much.
it was really informative, and it was really helpful for the researchers and the young faculty members, because maximum of our faculty members, young faculty members, have engaged in the PhD work. So it will help them to side by side explore these aspects as well, which also will be potentially help them in carrying out their research project in terms of their PhD work as well, and both can be mingled up. So one thing I just want to get, some confirmation or your suggestion on one particular point. Is it really important that for since you have mentioned that the time frame for all such projects are really limited. It is maximum 24 months. So what happens that a work which is a very potent work, but eventually it is a lengthy one. So there, whether it would be very much useful from the PI point of view, if some basic work is already been done, and then that work for the extensive part of that work, the PI is submitting that project for the funding. So that way, will that be helpful, and will that be a added advantage for the applicant?
Sir, of course, if it is a basic research work, it will not be supported by the agencies who are actually focusing on commercialization. So in this case, what is my suggestion is, you just do the basic work in your lab, and when you get some positive results and you are convinced that yes, it can be possible, then you just, with that positive results, you apply and use the type of word like scale up or commercialization or those things. And in between, you should have, if it is a healthcare sort of products, then you should have some data on the toxicity reports also, so that the reviewers can have the idea, okay, they have done the toxicity, so efficacy is there, toxicity is there, the scaling up is required so that we can fund the project. So this is the thing. And please remember, this is very very competitive grant, so but of course a very prestigious and very good big grant especially. And there are other grants also depending on the your project. Okay.
Right. Right. So that way, we are really grateful to our management. This is relevant. That is why I'm just mentioning that our management, I think it has been implemented when Dr. BG Unni was there with us. The seat grant for the faculty members, which has been implemented. So a particular amount of funding has been extended by the management to the young faculty members with good proposals. And internally, the faculty members used to carry out the preliminary studies and the laboratory skill or pilot skill studies. And then their project was almost ready with certain basic data onto which they can claim that yes, further results can be obtained. Means some purposive result can be forecasted. So that is how our faculties are really benefited in many cases, and we have got many such projects from funding agencies like DBT and DST. So thank you so much once again, Dr. Roy. It's been wonderful, and I look forward very frequent interaction with you. And I'm sure that our faculty members are going to be, getting best guidance from you in terms of this funding and not funding actually means writing proposals and how to go ahead with the project proposal writing. So everything. On this note, I just want to say that as and when the pandemic situation will be restored, definitely we'll be willing to see you in physical mode in our campus for interaction with our faculty members. With this, thank you so much once again.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yes, Dr. Unni, he is a very, experienced person in case of research as well as commercialization. He has many patents also. So I think it's a very good initiative of him so that you can just initiate your research. I must congratulate you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think we can end the question and answer session with this, and I will be sharing the feedback form with you. I request everyone to please fill the feedback form, and thank you, ma'am. So I think
Thank you.
I can welcome the second speaker for today, Dr. D. Guwahati. So I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to welcome Dr. Dansrang Guwahati,
Yeah,
who
good
received
morning,
this.
everybody.
Uh, Sir, let me tell you a brief introduction I can give to everyone about you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, Dr. Guwahati received his PhD in biochemistry from Nehu Shillong in the year 2009. After that, Dr. Guwahati joined DRDO in the year 2005 as a scientist B at Defense Institute of Bioenergy Research, Nainital, Uttarakhand. Now he is working as a scientist E in DRL laboratory, Tejpur, Assam. He achieved various awards and fellowships from CSIR and DRDO. So Dr. Guwahati guided 3 PhD students and more than 10 students in the undergraduate level, and has also successfully organized some conferences as an active organizing member. He has also achieved 4 invited reviewers in reputed international journal. Dr. Guwahati has 4 patents, 44 research publications, 44 conferences, and many more seminars and workshops to his credit. So, and I'm very happy to know that Dr. Guwahati is also actively involved in one project for promoting and protecting Indian soldiers. So I welcome you, sir. You can please take over the session.
Okay. Thank you for the nice introduction. And first of all, I'm very thankful to organizing committee and the Dean, Faculty of Pharmaceutical Science, Professor Desa, and also Professor Chaudhary sir for inviting me to talk on this very what is called important seminar, that is a Basel Science Contact 2011. So today I'm going to talk on the topic, it is hemorrhage control in the battlefield. It's a present status and future exploration of hemostatic agents. So as you know, we are working in a R&D department of Defense Ministry. So this work is one of the very fascinating, and of course, as you know, these kinds of like hemorrhage control has been since immemorial. People are doing in the what is called traditional way, as well as now with the update of the scientific these things, what is called upgradation, lot of products also coming, but still it is in the evolving stage. And specifically in the defense R&D matter, so we have to look into some of the hemorrhage control agents like hemostatic agents, which are very fast, immediate, and it can be used in the field itself. So as you know, in the war or battlefield, the majority of deaths are broadly classified into three main categories, like total body disruption, severe brain injury, and hemorrhage. Out of these three, you can see the hemorrhage is the leading cause of preventable combat death on the battlefield, including small caliber munitions commonly seen as a hello. Hello. Can you hear me, please? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir. We can hear
Okay,
you.
okay. So, like the vast majority of these deaths occur in the field before the injured can be transported to a treatment facility due to non-availability of effective hemostatic agent. So, like if you go back in some of the war history, like Iraq war, they have reported approximately around 20% of combat casualties were killed in action, out of which 50% were due to hemorrhage, and 36% were a result of neurological trauma, and the remaining were a result of devastating multiple injuries. And if we look back, like the Vietnam War, there also you can see like you can see around 38% of soldiers are designated as a kill in action were caused by uncontrolled hemorrhage that could have been controlled while in the field. So, what is a hemorrhage? It is nothing but a copious discharge of blood from the blood vessels or blood escaping from the circulatory system. So based on that, there are 4 classifications it is done. One is the class 1, where the hemorrhage involves up to 15% of blood volume. Then class 2, which involves around 15 to 30% of total blood volume. Then class 3, it involves 30 to 40%. And class 4 is more than 40%. So as you know, in the human being, like adult human body, if you see the blood volume, it contains approximately around 5 to 6 liters. Typically, a healthy person can endure a loss of 10 to 15% of the total blood volume without serious medical difficulties. So, and in the field or in normal, what is called a person, the blood pressures, when it is palpable pulse, is appreciated, then carotid blood pressure should be more than 60 mmHg. Then femoral, it should be more than 70. Then radial, then it should be more than 80. Now, what are the source of what is a hemorrhage? There are 3 sources. Like one is arterial bleeding, which is like a repeat. It is a profuse and pulsating, bright red in color due to the high degree of oxygenation. I'm showing right side. These are some pictorial representation, like arteries bleeding, veins bleeding, and capillary bleeding. In venous bleeding, the flowing from a damaged vein is steady and non-pulsating. And the color of the blood, you will see dark red or maroon in color due to lack of oxygen being transported. While in the capillary bleeding, it is slow and oozing, often clots spontaneously, and it's not so much dangerous. Now, you can see some category of the hemorrhage. One is external hemorrhage, where blood leaks through a natural opening, such as the mouth, nose, ear, etc., through a break in the skin. Whereas internal hemorrhage, it is blood leaks from the blood vessels inside the body. These are some pictorial representation, like laceration, how it looks like, abrasion, puncture wound, amputation, avulsion. These are the representation how the bleeding occurs in the human body. Internal hemorrhage, it may occur from the blunt trauma to auto versus pedestrian, motor vehicle accidents. It may be from falls, it may be from blast injuries. When we talk about the penetrating injuries, it is like gunshot wounds, stab wounds, shrapnel wounds, like you are showing, like I'm showing here, injured internal organs. Now, what are the signs and symptoms in that internal hemorrhage? It may be pain, tenderness, swelling, discoloration at injury site, bleeding from any body orifice, vomiting blood, tender, rigid, or distended abdomen. Now, the question comes, how long does it take to bleed to death from a complete femoral artery and vein disruption? The answer tells that casualties with such an injury can bleed to death in as little as 3 minutes. So in the war so far, or the battlefield, people are using some of the equipments. One of the popular equipment is the tourniquets. This is called a vascular occlusion method, where the tourniquet is a constricting or compressing device, specifically a bandage used to control venous and arterial circulation to an extremity for a period of time. Tourniquets have been used safely and effectively on the battlefield since the 17th century. This is the representative photograph where one-handed applications is there and another is two-handed applications are there. And its application wise, we can see we have to place the tourniquet between the heart and wound, and it should be wrapped tourniquet around the extremity, and it should be tightened so that blood stops bleeding. So among various types of tourniquets like terabens are there, cloth and stick. Combat application tourniquets is the most effective in the battleground. But you see, there are some injuries, you see, like groin, axilla, and neck. Then how you will use this tourniquet? We cannot use. So finally, we have to go for some other product like hemostatic dressings. So our interest of here talking is mostly on the hemostatic agents, which are what is called hemostatic dressings kinds of products. Like so far, there are many products has come out based on certain compounds, and like hemostatic agents were initially being developed very recently. It is in around 1997 for combat trauma, with the initial work on the dry fibrin dressing by Colonel John Holcomb and the American Red Cross. Although wars in modern times are fewer than before, the destructiveness of new weapons applied at a battle is more powerful. Under these circumstances, hemostatic dressings are highly useful. Some of the examples, like we can see combat gauze, Shilox gauze, Cyto gauze, those are the products which are coming out after 1997. But when we prepare and we do some products related to hemostatic dressings, then we must take certain things in mind before going through before going to the product. Like these kinds of hemostatic dressing in the battlefield should have certain properties, like it should able to stop large vessel arterial and venous bleeding within 2 minutes of applications. And it should be ready to use with no requirement for mixing or special preparation. Otherwise, if you have to go for preparation like 2-3 components, it will take time. And as I say, profusely bleeding may lead to die within 2 to 3 minutes. So we must consider those kinds of factors also. Like it should also be simple to apply by the wounded individual, like his body, or a medic, emergency medical technician with minimal training acquired. And the product should be lightweight and durable. And also we have to consider its what is called stability and functional at room temperature for at least 2 to 3 years. And also one of the most important factor is that the products should be stable at ambient temperatures. When I talk about ambient temperatures, you know, India is covered by boundaries in extremities. Like it has got very high temperature areas, also very low temperature areas. So I'm just putting up here around minus 10 degrees centigrade to 55 degrees centigrade. It should be stable at least for 2 years. And if you see in Leh and Ladakh region, even it goes to minus 30 degrees centigrade. In that region where we are bordering with the Pakistan, in JNK, so the product should be stable in that area. So the product has to be stable in the minus temperature as well as a high temperature. And it should be safe to use, posing no risk of either injury in the tissue to which it is applied, or maybe of bacterial or viral transmission. And another factor we have to consider is that it should be inexpensive. Now, most of the products which are coming in the market, we can see they are based on certain natural resources like kaolin and zeolite molecules. And another one you can see is that chitosan molecule. And you know what is marketed and available in the market, what kind of chitosan, what kind of hemostatic agents that we have to understand. Like kaolin and zeolite they are using, so those molecules participate directly in the clotting cascade. Like they will convert fibrinogen into fibrin, then finally cross-link and fibrin clot. And another molecule that is called what is called chitosan molecule, it does not participate in the clotting cascade. So this chitosan molecule, what does it do is that it is a positive polysaccharide amine that attract negative red blood cells and platelets to form a gel-like clot, which seals the bleeding vessels. Unlike other hemostatic technologies, its action does not require the normal hemostatic pathway, which I told, clotting cascade. It does not participate there. So it simply react, or it seals or interact with the negative red blood cells and functions as like what is called hemostatic agent. You know, there are some products that I'm trying to show which are used in the Iraq war. Like in 2003, one product, it is called Quick Clot. It is approved by FDA, and it is mainly made from the zeolite as well as kaolin materials, kaolin molecules, which I just talked. So they promote hemostasis by absorb water to concentrate blood clotting, and these are used by the US Marine Corps. And the product got used widely during Iraq war. Another product is the Unstat. Here they have used the chitosan molecule. So they used three particular components. One is chitosan, another is a silica, another molecule again polyacrylic acid. The former with powerful absorption ability derives from hydrated aluminous silicates. Another absorbs water 200 more times as heavy as its weight. The combination of components in it ensures superior hemostatic performance. This also got a FDA approval, and the product name is the Unstat. And another product, Hemcon dressings. This also got approval in 2003 by FDA. The major component here also the chitosan molecule, and also chitogose. It is also made of what is called this chitosan molecule. This is also widely used. And another one is the Silox gose. This also got approval in 2006. So these are used at present in the war situation or by the military pupils. These are the pictorial representation which are available in the market. Another product is the HM chitosan. This foam is prepared by adding hydrophilic tails and creating a hydrophobically modified chitin. These products are mainly modification of chitosan molecules. And previously, I am showing the kaolin and zeolite molecule. Now, concentration is going on mainly chitosan molecule, but there are some problems which are arising, like stability matters, which I have talked. Somewhere it is working fine, somewhere it is not working fine. Those are the factors, and people are trying to modify, adding some other components so that it can be stable and it can be working fine. And another very important what is called product is the wound plugging. This product, like it is a cellulose sponges, and they are coated with a hemostatic agents, and it grow rapidly to fill the hole in less than 15 seconds. Like I'm showing here the pictorial representation. This is a syringe where you can just put this wound plug, and it is made of nothing but a chitosan molecule. So in the wound area, bullet injury, you can just push this chitosan molecules, made of chitosan molecules, then it will swell at particular level, and it will seal the bleeding. So this product also approved in 2014 by FDA. So likewise, several products are coming out. Like you can say Hemcon, I have just talked, Cytoplex is another hemostatic agents, Chitosil. Likewise, like Silox, I have talked already. So Quick Plot, I have talked already. So likewise, several products are coming out. And you know, in the, as I told, in the war or in the battlefield, certain specific directions we must keep in the product. Like how to expose, like we have to expose the wound and identify the bleeding from where it is coming, then pack wound completely, apply direct pressure, then bandage over combat goes, then transport and moderate casualties. Therefore, taking background of those kinds of products in the market and the needs that we have to focus in R&D, because these products are very expensive. So we have to look some of the alternatives. So our laboratory and DRDO laboratory, not only our laboratory, even we have one other laboratory, DPAS, they are also working in this field. So we are trying to incorporate certain natural products which are traditionally used from a long time, and also the natural resources available. Like you can say, natural products are being used for development of hemostatic dressings from immemorial time by the traditional method. Like chamomile are used, the leaves of dioecious nettle, kaolin, chitosan, fibrinogen, thrombin, those are already used. Now, what we are trying to do is that, like inclusion of biocompatible polymeric base, particularly an allogenate, generates a composition with superior and broad spectrum hemostatic capabilities and the ability to arrest arterial hemorrhage. Therefore, exploration of effective hemostatic agents from natural sources is very crucial for ease of use and making cost effective. So in this context, our laboratory has initiated to develop a herbal formulation, including natural sources, useful for hemorrhage control and wound healing hydrogen. So I want to talk a little bit in our laboratory how we have initiated, taking into consideration all the background so far. Like we are trying to develop one particular hemostatic film based on three molecules like chitosan, polyvinyl alcohol, oxidized cellulose. So here is the pictorial representations of the product of the film. Then we have found some F3 formulation is the best, like some few parameters we have studied this product like swelling index, moisture content. The formulation I'm showing here, F3, is found best among all. This is the part of the R&D here. And we have to go for functional properties, whether it is working really in the hemostatic performance or not. So some of the model, like we use with the red femoral vein studies, with the red liver laceration studies, also like blood samples from with the red in vitro we have studied. So these are few results, like blood loss, how much it is losing from the red femoral vein model. So we have studied like blood clotting time, we studied liver laceration, we have studied. So that way we studied, and we come into conclusion of some of the products, like in these kinds of hemostatic film, like moisture content, we could get around 35%, good absorbability and swelling index 67%, hemostatic efficacy also we found, it reduces the blood clotting time. So these factors we have assessed. And also another this GOES type of hemostatic agents we tried using molecules like what is called chitosan and chiolin, because here chitosan participates in the interaction with the red blood, not unlike the chiolin, which is participating in the clotting cascade. So we tried to make some combination so that uh, both pathways can work in this level. So like a chitosan and chiolin combination also we tried here. Here also some positive results we have got. These are all under pipeline of the products which are on the way. And another products which we have already patented, it's based on like chitosan and addition of some of the herbal extracts. So we have designed like the product should repel the water, and water if vapor should be exchanged, and it should be repellent to the bacteria. So these are the model that we have designed, and we have come into conclusion that it is working fine as a hemostatic dressing formulation, and also what is the wound healing mechanisms. Like here are some photograph I am showing, and above is the like excision model experiment we have done. Second is like barn model, and composition is having like chitosan, gelatin, glycerin. Then extract means plant extract. We have tried three extracts here, four plant extracts, and based on that we have tried to see which plant extract is best. So we got one product. So that product is already we have patented. So we check in the burn injury also, like healing, how many days it takes, and it's a re-epithelialization, how many days it takes. Like among those things, formulation 3 and 4, we found the best in terms of wound contraction rate. Also, like we compared with the marketed product which are available in the wound healing medicines, we found better than those also, and they are statistically significant, both in burn injury as well as the excision injury. So we also check the same product, like whether it is this particular plant extract addition product, whether it is working in the blood clotting mechanism or not. They are also working in this mechanism. So we also check how it is interacting with the help of some scanning electron microscope. Like here it is a plain what is called base of the chitosan molecule. When we add blood, so there are some molecules, what the chitosan molecules or formulation molecules stacking and clotting the blood. So with this features, like we can have a still scope, like we can explore more promising natural resources or molecules as an effective hemostatic agent, and we can modify of the existing hemostatic agents like chiolin, chitosan for better and wide range of applications. Also, like research on chitosan blood clotting mechanism and formulation with different type of polymer natural products, or converting it into dual activities like wound healing, hemostatic properties, including activation of the blood clotting cascade, this kind of research we can explore. And of course, Northeast is a place where a lot of natural resources are there, including the plants, herbs. Those we can explore, and this will be helpful in especially defense R&D. Also, the civilian population, as you know, every now and then we are every time hearing accidents, car accidents. So those are people are dying from the bleeding mostly. So in the bullet injury or maybe normal accidents, so those kinds of situation, if we develop a proper hemostatic agents, so it will be helpful. So with this, I conclude my talk. So, hello.
Hello. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, with this, I conclude my talk, and I'm very thankful to the organizers for giving opportunity to talk in
Yes,
this
sir.
virtual seminar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. It was a lovely session. A lot of information has been shared by you.
Yeah.
So with your permission, sir, if I could start the question answer session.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, so if anyone is having any type of questions or query, they can put forward their question in the chat box or can ask directly to Guwahati, sir. Thank you.
Expand कर दो.
Sir, can you tell us about the syringe that you have mentioned, the Kitosan syringe, if I'm not wrong? What is the specialty of that syringe, sir?
Yeah, this is actually made of this chitosan molecule.
Okay.
So here is what is called small pieces that formulation has to be cut into, okay, and pushed in, and put into the syringe. Okay. And what happened? Bullet injury especially happens what it pierces into the body. So there will be a hole. So from that hole, the blood oozes out. So if you can directly put that syringe, what is called hemostatic formulations, with the help of that syringe, so you can push there in the wound, then it swells up, okay, that formulation. Then when it swells up, it will interact with the blood, because blood is a negative charge, and yes, this formulation is a positive charge. There's an interaction, and finally it seals off within 2 minutes. So from that, at least the bleeding can be stopped, and the patient can be transported to the higher facility like hospitals and so on. So okay, at least the life can be saved.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay, so I think we have one more question from
okay,
from Nilanjan Pahari, sir. Okay.
Hello. 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 I cannot hear the question, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have one more question. All this method available for war bullet injury purpose or general medical injuries also?
No. I was mentioning mostly in the war purpose, like in the battlefield.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So with this, I think.
But Dari, I just wanted to know, when
yes,
you say that war people are also human being and general public is also human being, both will have hemorrhage. So how can you say that?
No, sir, I'm not.
The question is what he wanted to know.
Sir.
Whether it is a common.
It can be used in the civilian population, sir.
Yes,
but what I try to say is that presently these are used in the defense
sector.
purpose.
Yeah, correct.
But definitely it can be like I said in the car accident. Many accidents happen.
But your topic is very interesting. I remember, when Dr. Dubey was the director there, I was in CSS. So we had one mic. I don't want to disclose the name. We have a microbial based product.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Very small amount, even in picogram quantities.
Right, sir.
You can rub the place where the blood has oozes out.
Okay,
it
sir.
Comes out in the form of a powder.
Okay, sir.
So we try to patent.
Sir, our lab also in the quest of those things are like we thought of like in the northeast region, if there is any plants or maybe herbs which can be used and like immediate blood clot.
Yes, that is what.
Yeah, those are very
because there
helpful.
will be, there will be a psychological impact to the, the army people when the blood comes up. If you can stop it immediately, that will give a very good, you can say that a consolation to the army that, it is good. The person will have psychologically. So our idea was that, and another thing is that it will have a less impact, the side effects.
Right.
So very good, because your work is something very useful to the army, particularly in the defense sector.
Yes,
so that is the main, you can say that, that's the reason, yesterday when Dr. Batra was giving a wonderful talk, I really, surprised. They have got so many good biomolecules, even in the COVID sector.
Right.
Hardly they could take out only one. See, that means, we don't give importance to our own product, because Defense Research Laboratory Tejpur is famous with the DAS, the product of the Bhut Jalokia. That's a couple of years before. Bhut Jalokia, the name goes with the Dr. Das. Okay.
Sir, now I wish, sir, you should visit one day in our laboratory. Now we have developed certain like capsi grenade.
Very good.
Now Bhut Jolokia it is the concept from the Bhut Jolokia only.
Yeah, even the bio toilet, that is even we have just 20 miles away from my house. There is a defense laboratory byproduct bio toilet is there.
Sir.
That is anyway. It's good talk. I'm very happy to see you people, working in such a good and very important, useful to the society. That is what today what we require.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, so our honorable dean sir would like to say few words.
If you allow me to just highlight some issues of this particular product.
Yes, definitely.
Actually, sir, that is the quick clotting. The clotting is one of the sector where during ambushment, the firing, cross firing is always there. So, there is a two-type bleedings actually. One, when the bleeding is come from the periphery organisms as well as in perfuse organisms. The perfuse organ bleeding is somewhat very difficult to stop it. Number two issue that in the world only one drug is available. It is named as a quick clot. Quick clot is basically an American company is selling to the entire pan of world actually. It is a regenerated, remodified fibrinogens, but still Indian defense, even if you go to any militant also, this quick clot will get there in their pocket, because the quick clot only the agents we can stop the bleeding within few seconds. Now question has come, what the substitute of the quick clot? Yes, still we have in many things we have tried, but we cannot we cannot replace the quick clot. It is so certain quick actions is there. It is, I told you, that is a regenerate basically thrombin and prothrombin conversions they will take immediately. And yes, we have no option otherwise. Second, last things of these issues. The heparin, if you think that the modified regenerated cellulose, even the chitosands, yes, thrombic embolisms, one of the biggest challenge. That's why US FDA sometimes stop these issues actually. They are raise these issues. So yes, it is definitely one of the rich product what we are looking after and knocking the particular in defense sector. But somewhat defense sector is somewhat different from the civilian sector. Quick clot cannot be used for the civilian market, and moreover, you should be understand when bullet actually hit any organism, the pain, particularly the pain actually arising. Even narcotics drugs cannot be allowed, because yes, pathogen could not be allowed. It is a big question, and norepinephrine cannot be used. So now it is one of the strategy. It is taking this one, but it is have some optimism. So this is from my point of view, and I said it.
we need a lot of exploration in this field actually. The products which are available, these are very costly. We should go for some local resources also to find out.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Pranavesh Chattopadhyay, for your addition of few important points to the content, which the huge content which has been shared by Dr. Guerra. And Dr. Guerra, what interesting topic it was, really. Actually, I my project work in the sense my PhD work was on transdermal patch. But now I'm after hearing your talk, what I'm just comparing my work, then I'm thinking that your entire work is so specific. Why? Because and the particular thing when it was came to that the domestic as well as the civil and army personnel use. So what I could understand that I may be wrong. You please correct me.
Sir.
What I have understood that your product is particularly meant for specific type of injury, and
Yes.
The type of injury what happens in war that may not be comparable with the injuries happen in normal accidents and other injuries. So that is how your product is very, very unique, and the way you have approached it is really good. Of course, I was actually willing to know that the patch system, what you have implied there, whether that is a microneedle type or it's a complex adhesive type.
Sir, we have used that is not adhesive type. It's like based on we are trying on hemostatic, and also one product company is we are collaborating. It is a tragedam film is there. So that is like a very good film, and with that particular film, we can just adhere our product, and what is called it exchanges air also. And when it is touched with the wound or any liquid materials like blood, so it makes us swell up, especially our this chitosan molecule. Then it holds certain volumes of the liquid. Then finally, there is an interaction between like a red blood cells and this our product, and it seals off. It completely seals off.
Right. And you have used chitosan, which is a multi-dimensional, polymer and natural polymer. And of course, you have also mentioned one important area wherein we have lots of work to do. That is the northeastern region. We are really enriched with the flora and fauna and the herbal sources. If we get anything,
sir, that is what we are targeting actually. Because traditionally people are using a lot, but we don't know what is the scientific updates or what is the what exactly how it works, because blood clotting mechanisms functions differently. So some factors might participate in the clotting cascade, or some may not participate in the clotting cascade.
Right.
So that is why those kinds of mechanism we have to work out, and we look forward like the fast clotting kind of materials. So in case if we happen to find these kinds of plants or herbs, it will be boon to our like soldiers or maybe any kind of civilian accidents which have profusely bleeding kind of accidents.
True. So with the intention of and with the hope that the young researchers will take up this burning issues and relevant issues, which actually not for the only for the sake of paper publication or only for the sake of doing things or increasing number, but for the society and for the use of the humankind. So the young researchers should take up this all these pertinent topics. With this hope, I once again thank Dr. Guerra for his excellent talk. and we expect that in near future we'll have you with us in physical mode once this
Thank you, sir. Definitely.
normal
Definitely, sir. Thank you. Okay, sir.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for the wonderful lecture. And now with this, I think, do we have any more questions? Okay, so we'll be sharing the feedback form. I request everyone to please fill up the feedback form, and we'll be taking 2 to 3 minutes break. Until that, I'll let our next speaker, Dr. Yangchen Bhutia ma'am, will begin his session. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm ready.
We'll take sharp 5-minute break with the permission of the speaker, because she is already on board.
No problem, sir.
Right, ma'am. So we'll take a 5-minute short break,
Yes.
and then we'll continue with her lecture. I request all the participants to stay tuned.
I request everyone to please stay connected. We will be joining shortly. Thank you. So thank you very much, everyone, for remaining connected in this session. We are resolving the session. I request everyone to please join the session, and I would like to request Dr. Yangcheng Doma Bhutia ma'am to please to please be ready, and I would like to read out about ma'am a bit. Dr. Yangchen ma'am is currently working as a scientist E in the division of pharmaceutical sciences in DRDO Tejpur, Assam. She received her degree in veterinary science and animal husbandry from West Bengal University of Animal and Fishery Sciences, Kolkata, and completed her master's degree in veterinary pharmacology from Indian Veterinary Research Institute, Izzatnagar, Bareilly. She has more than 14 years of working experience and has worked on development of methods of toxic chemicals and plants in DRD Gwalior. Also, she is involved in studies involving regulatory toxicity of products and traditional medicinal plants. So she has experience in working with laboratory animals and is a certified laboratory animal science trainer. So, and also Dr. Bhutia ma'am has published more than 15 paper journals of national and international repute. She is a member of a number of professional societies like Toxicology, Laboratory Animal Society, etc. She is also serving as a veterinarian in the Institutional Animal Ethics Committee and is in charge of Animal House Facility, DRL Tejpur. So I welcome you, ma'am. You can start the session.
Yes, yes, I will. I will share my slides first. So, let me do my slide. Just a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can you come here and do it? Yeah. Are you able to view my slide?
No,
ma'am.
Are
you able to view?
No, ma'am.
Yeah?
We are not able to view your slides, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Just a minute. Just a minute. Share. Yeah, this one, no? Yes. I should share here. Just a minute.
I mean, the bottom we have a shared screen option.
Yeah, yeah, I'm doing that. Do you have to application window? Cancel, just press cancel and do it again. Just a minute, we are just getting into.
Okay, ma'am, take your time, ma'am.
You need to select this. Yes. No, it's sharing.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible now. It is visible now.
Okay. Now it's visible and I'm audible also, no, now?
Yes, ma'am, it is audible.
Yeah, yeah. So, first of all, I'd like to thank the organizers and especially the Dean of Assam Downtown University, Professor B. Day, and also the organizers, Dr. Ananta Chaudhary, who got in touch with me and then he asked me to give this lecture. So I am very honored and thank you so much for inviting me to this lecture. So, for some of you, this I'd like to start my lecture now. So for some of you, this may be an old topic, and I may be able to throw a new light on that topic, or it may be old for you. So bear with me, and for some of you it may be a new thing, and especially for the students who are into research or who are planning their career in going for research in animals, using animals. So this might help you. So animal experimentation, as you know, there are lots of animals which are used in animal experimentation. Mammals, especially guinea pigs, rabbits, hamsters, farm animals also they are used, the large animals, cats, dogs, non-human primates like monkeys and others are also used, like some invertebrate animals are also, but I'm talking about mammals here. So among them, the most uh, highly used, that is the maximum used animals are the mice and the rats. They consist of 90% of the animals which are used in research. So the reason being, the mice and the rats, they are of very small size, and they are the handling of them, like their handling is very easy. They have a short lifespan, so you don't have to take care of them for a very long time, and they are relatively inexpensive, and they need small housing space. They are economic to maintain. They reproduce it very fast. They have got a very short gestation period, and they have got a high genetic similarity to humans. Here I'd like to add that even the genetic information about them is known. So it is there in the public domain, and everyone can access it. So that is the reason why they are usually used. But I'd like to add here that these animals, they um, they are quite infamous. You know, rats and mice. When any normal person or a layman thinks of such animals, they think of them as spreading disease, and they think of them as the cause of plague which happened, and then there was that pandemic that killed a lot of people in the medieval ages and all that, and they are usually associated with bad bad hygiene and all that. And also some of them have been, some of them, they know them as the usually the children, they the mouse is famous as Minnie Mouse also, and as Stuart Little also. So there are many movies also on them, but the thing is that they generally are of in disrepute. People don't like to be around mice and rats. So that is actually a misconception. It is not them only who are spreading disease or something. All animals are capable of spreading disease, and most animals have got zoonotic. They have got diseases of zoonotic importance. Like for example, even now the pandemic which we are facing, this coronavirus pandemic, it is believed to be started from bats. No, so animals have always been, when humans and animals come in contact with each other, the diseases also transmit from one species to the other. So it's not a new thing. So the rodents are not entirely to be blamed for all the diseases or such. So since we work with animals, we are doing our work, we are earning our bread and butter by working with animals, and also the scientific community has it has progressed so much due to and then there's so much knowledge now on everything, because we have been able to work on animals, and we have been able to experiment on animals. They have got a similar physiology when compared to humans. So they have done a lot for humanity. So why are they known as rodents? In Latin, rodere means to gnaw. They are well-known examples of these rodents are mice, rat, guinea pig, hamster, gerbils, etc. They are usually herbivorous and also omnivorous. And then animal experimentation was started long time back, when people used to work on frogs, and they used to work on different other types of animals. And then the first rodent species that was used was the vista rat in 1828. And this lady, her name was Abby Latrobe. Lady Abby Latrobe, she did experiments with mouse, and also the developer of Babsy mouse, he was Dr. Halsey J. Bagg. So he was a developer of this strain of mouse, which is highly used now for immunogenicity studies, etc. So when people see mouse and rats, they are usually confused. They just think that The rat is a large mouse, but it is not so. They are actually different species, and then they have got many different physical characteristics which are different, and they are actually different species, but people don't they cannot make out the difference between the two unless and until they really know them. Like for example, in the rat, you can see this is a rat. It has got a thicker tail, and then in the mouse, the tail is almost equal in length to the body. Okay, and then it has a pointy. I'll tell you the differences. So these are I'll tell you the differences in the other slide. So it has a short, stubby, and broad head, and then the mouse has a relatively small and triangular head relative to the body. The muzzle in the rat is blunt, but in the mouse it is narrow and sharp. In the rat, the ears are relatively small, but in the mouse, the ears are relatively big. And then the tail, like I said it's thin, and then in the mouse it is on the same length of the body or longer than the body. And then the feet are large. The hind feet of the rat is relatively large compared to the front feet, and then in the mice the feet are usually smaller. And then the weight, as you know, a full-grown adult is around 200 grams, but in the mouse it is 30 to 50 grams. So a mouse is not a small rat. So there are various strains and stocks of mice. It has been named according to the developer, also named according to the laboratory where they are bred. So they are used for different disease models or your choice or preference of study. So those are you have to go through the literature to find which animal is best suited for your study. And then these are the stocks of rats: buffalo, F344, Norway brown, Zucker rats, Vista rats, frog dolly rats, and long Evans rats, etc. And the most widely used mouse strains are C57BL6 mice, which we also have in our lab, and Balpsy mice. The rat strain, frog dolly, and Vista rats are most widely used, which we have in our laboratory also. I'm having a meeting. So the suppliers of animals, they are usually the Jackson Laboratory, Charles River Laboratories, Taconic Farms, Harlan Laboratories, etc. Also, in our country, some of the private vendors also, they supply these animals, as well as some of the laboratories where you can purchase the animals and then use the animals. And where to search for a specific mouse strain, for your particular animal model or whatever. So international mouse strain resources there. So you can go through these sources and you can find out a collaboration of dozen international mouse repositories containing information for about 51,503 strains and 217,063 cell lines as of November 2018. So now again, going to the salient biological features of the mouse, they are most commonly used. They use tail as well as brown fat for thermal regulation. They do not have sweat glands, and maybe it is only found in the foot pad. The incisor, they have got incisor teeth which grows throughout their lives, and they've got 5 pair of mammary glands. And in case of rats, they have got incisors which continuously grow throughout their life. And they've got no tonsils or gallbladders or receptors for water and taste. They've got a diffuse pancreas. They are coprophagic, and therefore not ideal for nutritional studies. And they've got 6 pair of mammary glands, no sweat glands. So limited core body temperature regulation is there, and then tail vein and hibernating gland is there, brown fat for thermal regulation. So the rats and the mice, lots of learning and behavioral studies are conducted in these animals. They are very intelligent, and because of generations of inbreeding, they are very docile, they are friendly, they are easily trained, And sometimes there may be exceptions. They may be mishandling of the animals, and so that time they would show nervous and aggressive behavior.
Ma'am,
Yes?
sorry to interrupt you, ma'am, but your slides are not visible, ma'am. Only the first slide is showing.
Only the first slide is showing?
Yes, ma'am. Your slides are not visible at all. Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yes, now it is visible. Yes.
Not visible? Okay.
It is visible, ma'am, but the slides were not the actual slides. Means it was not moving from the first cover slide.
First, till now you've been hearing without that?
No. We can hear you, but the slides were not moving. Now I think no, ma'am, still not visible.
Just a second. Give me some time.
Okay.
Can you see now?
Yes, ma'am. We can see now.
Yeah, please, if you cannot see the slide, you can interrupt me anytime and let me know, okay? Because whatever I'll be speaking, it will not have too much of impact because if you cannot see it.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, just let me know whenever you can interrupt me anytime.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Is it visible now?
Yes, it is visible now.
Yeah, I'll continue then. So actually the rats and mice, they are very intelligent animals. They are docile because of generations of inbreeding, they are docile, they are easily trained, but there might be exceptions sometimes when there is mishandling. There might be certain strains or the individuals who may be nervous or aggressive. And as we know, they are investigative, they are very curious, so they burrow, they keep on burrowing. If you take animals in a cage and then you put up some bedding material, you'll always see that they go towards the corner of the cages and they try to burrow, and they keep themselves very clean. The reason why you see the white color, of the animals, they do not take bath, or they do not wash, but they keep on grooming themselves. So that's why they are very clean, and they are also very social animals. And so they, if you do not keep them in groups, they are very stressed. You cannot isolate them and keep them. That will be a kind of a cruelty to the animal. They have to be kept in groups because they are very social animals. And they've got poor vision. They have got acute sense of hearing and smell, but because to make up for their poor vision, they've got very good hearing and smell. And that's why, handlers, they learn to recognize their handlers through their smell. So when you are working in the animal house, when you are doing experiments, and when you have a long-term study going on, it is advised you don't wear perfume or something else, because that would again confuse the animals. They would not know their handlers and all. So that's why animals have got very good sense of smell, especially rats and mice. And then they have got the retina is dominated by rods, dim light vision. That's why they are nocturnal animals. They are active during the night, and then very passive and lethargic during the day. That is the time they sleep. So when we work in the animal house, we usually go and, our animal house maintenance workers and everybody, we go in the daytime and do our work. But animals do not prefer that, because that is their time to be quiet and the time to sleep. But when we are not there at night, they are the most active. Everything happens during the night for them. So our day is their night, and our night is their day, you can say like that. So they are mostly active during those times. And then it is preferable, that's why, to keep quiet and to keep the silence should be maintained in the animal houses, because you don't want to disturb them during that time. And also they have this acute sense of smell, and then together with urine, feces, vaginal secretions, they use all these kinds of means for their communication with each other. They use their sense of olfaction. They identify their own pups through this olfactory sense. And then they also become familiar with their home cage, and they can differentiate between unfamiliar animals. They can differentiate between different species if they are kept in the same room. So two species being kept in the same room is never preferable, especially if they are rat and mouse, because one is a prey and one is a predator. So even if they look similar, the mouse is looking similar to the rat, but they are not. So in the wild, one is a prey and one is a predator. So it makes the mouse feel very scared, and then the sense of fear is there always. So we should never keep them in the same room. And then also the reproductive status also they can know by by the sense of smell, and whether she's receptive to mating, whether she's pregnant or lactating. And then also they can make out the sexual maturity and the stress level. And therefore cleaning of cages also, if it is done very frequently, it leads to a lot of stress. So when the handlers, they keep clean the cages, they put a little bit of the old bedding material into the new cages, so that they become comfortable and familiar with it. And the rats, the sense of sound, they can hear a lot of sound which we are not able to hear. So when we are speaking in a normal voice, for them it's like we are screaming. And then when they are small pups, with their mother, and they keep on making like a movement, like as if they are yawning. They are not yawning, actually they are crying for their mother. So we cannot hear those sounds, but the mother can hear those sounds. The other rats can hear the sound. So we should be quiet when we are around them. And also just one slide about guinea pig. So they are herbivorous species. They are very high sensitive to histamine and penicillin. And also they are used for this delayed type hypersensitivity reaction studies and all that. And they generally lack this enzyme, the vitamin C. So we have to give them in their water. We have to give them from outside. So coming to now, I've given you an introduction to the laboratory animals, mainly to mouse and rat. And now we come to the animal models. What is an animal model? Animal model is an object of imitation. A lab animal imitates a biological phenomenon that the species has in common with the target species. Usually the target species is the human being, for which we are continually developing newer. Yes,
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt again, but it is in the 14th number slide, in the vision only.
yes.
It is not moving.
Okay. Something is happening to this one. So, okay.
Ma'am, you can go for the full screen mode, I think. For the full screen mode.
Okay, I was doing full screen mode only. I don't know what is wrong. Can you see now?
Yes, currently you are in 20 slides, number 20.
Yes, I think I'm in number 20. Yeah, concept and definition. Full screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Full screen.
F5 will take you to the full screen mode.
Yeah, you can hide that. You can hide this one, I think. Anytime I get stuck, you just let me know. It's just happening like that.
Okay, ma'am.
So, okay, animal model. No, the animal model is an object of imitation. It is a lab animal which imitates a biological phenomenon that the species has in common with the target species. So Mendel studied peas and fruit fly for learning human genetics. That is just an example. So there are different disease models. There are induced disease models, which may be surgical, chemical, pharmacological, or nutritional. These are when you give, perform a surgery, and you modify something and then you produce disease, or you give some chemicals, you give some drugs, or you give some nutritional additives or whatever, then you produce disease in the animal. Some of them are spontaneous disease models, which the animals are prone to that disease. Genetically modified animals are there. And negative disease, some disease do not develop because mouse are resistant to ascites and solid cancers induced by transplantable cells. So extrapolation to human beings, phylogenetic relationship we have to see. So we see that all of you know about this thalidomide disaster, no? So it crippled 10,000 children. They cause seal-like extremities. They do not cause any birth defects in case of rats. So there was a big problem because of this drug. It was given for this gestational nausea and vomiting and all. But then in the human beings, they cause so much of problems. And anatomic and phylogenetic and physiologic similarity is there, but biochemically something may be different, you know. Various animal models which are used are transgenic animals, normal animals, drug-induced models, surgical models, mutant models, and nutritional research models. So when you take up animal, is the slide moving now?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It is not moving.
Your slide is not moving as per your talk, and then keep your slide on the slide mode.
I'll try to do that. Is it okay?
Ma'am, it is okay, but the thing happening is that whenever you are moving to the next slide, we are not able to view the subsequent slides.
Okay, I will do it again and again. Then whatever I'm doing right now, I'll do it again because we have to.
No, ma'am. Actually, if you are facing any difficulty, you can share the slides over WhatsApp so that we can run the slides for you.
Okay. No problem. I'll try to do it like that. Okay, because WhatsApp again, my slides are not there. Okay, I'll just do it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And anytime it's getting stuck, you just let me know. I can again go back again. Okay.
Ma'am, can you try to change the slide once so that I could tell you whether it is moving or not? Can you try to change the slide?
Is it moving? Is it moving?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It is not moving.
Okay. Okay. Something is happening.
Ma'am, you can go for the full screen mode. After that, it will.
Can you wait for 5 minutes? 5 minutes? I will do it in another computer.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, we can wait.
5 minutes. Please give me 5 minutes. I'm so sorry for this, but I don't know what is happening. Just 5 minutes you give me.
It's okay, ma'am. It's okay.
So, no, I'll go. I'll be sharing it shortly. I'll start within 5 minutes. And not 5 minutes, 2 minutes.
Okay, ma'am.
24 slide में था शायद 24 slide 24 या 24 इसके बाद भी चल गई थी Please enable the screen sharing from your side. Can you enable Dr.
Right has been given to you.
D. Goyri, can you share the slide? I mean, enable Dr. D. Goyri to slide. Share,
It's
share?
already enabled, ma'am.
Okay.
You kindly go through it.
Okay, yes. Got it. Yeah, now is it okay now? Can you see?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We can see now.
Thank you so much for your patience, everybody.
Not a problem, ma'am. Not a problem.
I'm so sorry. So, okay. Again, the same thing, this is just a repetition, like induced models, spontaneous models, transgenic models, native disease models, and orphan disease models. Like I've got, like for example, induced disease models, in which like diabetes induction by injection of, streptozotocin, experimental infections, surgical models, etc. And also spontaneous disease models, like for example, there is these spontaneously hypertensive rats are there where you can do blood pressure studies and transgenic disease or models or genetically altered models with selective mutations allowing the expression of human genes in animals or deletion of these genes, and negative disease models in which the disease does not develop. In this naked mole rat, the cancer does not develop in this naked mole rat. And now the screen is being shared, no problem.
Yes, ma'am. It is visible now. It is visible now.
Orphan disease models are functional disorder that occurs naturally in a non-human species but has not yet been described in humans, like for example Marek's disease in case of birds. And from animal model to human extrapolation, again there is there are lots of factors to be considered. That is the most importantly is the metabolic differences and model body size and scaling. The species that are phylogenetically close do not always share the same metabolic pathways. There might be some enzymes which might be present in a particular animal which might not be there in humans, so such kind of things may occur. Also, there are a number of drugs that have different or similar metabolic pathway to humans. So we have to be take care of that also when we are designing our experiments. And we should know that metabolic rate depends upon the body size. The smaller the body size, the higher is the metabolic rate. It is the same it means that for the same concentration in the plasma, a drug will be metabolized or eliminated faster in a mouse than in case of a human. So this is very important for the extrapolation of data. So what we know is that there are no perfect models for any disease. This is a perfect model for a disease, this is a perfect model for that disease. That there are no perfect models. We have to go through the literature, we have to find out for ourselves, and sometimes it may so happen that it may not suit our study. So we have to be careful of that and take many other things into consideration while we are planning or we are designing our studies. So, there are lots of people who say why animal experimentations are important. Why animal experimentations are important, and how do we justify experimentation? There are many activists, which we call them, you know, PETA activists are there. They said that no animal, we cannot do experiment on animals, and which species to take. And then there is an interwoven trio of ethics, law, and then science. Okay, and then there are the different ethical viewpoints also, and then there is the 3 R's, which is replacement, reduction, and then refinement. So refinement and training is required for us to be more ethical and to follow the law and the science, and to make the science possible, like, you know, for the science to move forward. So we can, there are a lot of online, you know, you can go through lots of sites where you can understand animal research. You know, if some person has a problem understanding why animal research is to be done, there are lots of resources nowadays which are available, which was not there when we were studying. We would not have access to so much of information like you all have now. So you can visit these sites understanding animal research. Okay, what is happening now, what they are doing in animals for coronavirus research, or even those things, you can go and have a look. And then you know, sometimes the facts can be overlooked also. How many animals are used in research every year, you know? Like, for example, we are eating non-vegetarian food. We are also eating all sorts of non-vegetarian food. We do not take that into consideration. We do not say that is cruelty, but only the experiment on animals that is considered to be cruelty, you know? So we have to take that into consideration also. So this particular implant which had been implanted in this person's you know, in this brain, it helped to control his symptoms of Parkinson's disease, which has got no cure at all. Even right now, with so much of advances in research, we do not have cure for diseases like Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease. There are so many diseases which, you know, there is no cure at all. So if the animal research is stopped, then such things, we will never find a cure to such things, and to such diseases. And it is all for the good, which why the animal experimentation takes place. So there is nothing like, you know, evil that the scientists are doing, because they follow all sorts of rules and regulations, and they also have compassion. So when you work with the animals, you need to have compassion for the animals also. And what have we learned through animal research? If you ever had a vaccination, if you have ever taken a headache pill, or have been given an antibiotic, you have benefited from animal research. So I don't think there is even a single person now in this world who has not benefited from animal research. Every major breakthrough in medical science that we know today has depended in part or wholly on animals. This just does not mean medicines, but medical procedures also, like blood transfusions, transplant surgery, all the medicines. And it's not just humans which we have benefited, even animals have benefited from all these things, you know. And but there are still many serious conditions that have no cure, like I've told you like a while back. Cancer treatments have improved greatly. And then so many diseases are there which still do not have any cure. So if we stop animal research, we'll stop the real killers, the diseases which kill us, and even the new and evolving diseases which are coming up. And then if we do not do research on that, then who will stop the real killers? So there are people who support animal research also, and they are all standing up for science and saying that animal research is important. Also, thanks to animal research, these people would be able to protest 20 years longer. So they'll be able to live 20 years longer in order to protest against animal research. So all the vaccinations, all the diseases, you know, animal research has given a lot to humanity. And like, for example, this is the mice and the rats, which I've told you in the first slide. They are the main contributors to animal experimentation. So science, laws, and ethics, they need to go together. So laboratory animal science, that is LAS, is equals to ethics, laws, and science. Also, you can call that. Okay. So if you are in a dilemma about whether it is evil or it is good to go for animal experimentation, you can visit these sites, you know, and I'll be happy to share with you even after this presentation. Anyone can get in touch with me, and I can share with you the sites. So, okay. So this is a chart which shows the blue area is the amount of animals which are used as food, and this one is the area which the pink area is their domestic pets, and the medical research, they are it is a very small number actually when we see, and others are destroyed as pests, and they are unwanted pests also. So you can see the real scenario. But animal welfare considerations should be given the highest priority in case of animals. We have to give them good environment, we have to give them food and water, and then cruelty should not be there at all. We have to take care of the animals. We have a moral obligation towards them. So how do we avoid suffering? What is a good life? When we are talking about animals, what is animal welfare? So they have got feelings, they've got preferences, the nature of the animal, we have to give them that. So we have to give them freedom from hunger and thirst, from discomfort, from pain and injury and disease. So whenever we induce a disease model, we have to make sure that the animals are free from pain and injury. We have to give them pain, painkillers. We have to give them that. We have to see, and any point of our study, if we see that the animals are suffering, then there has to be a decision made on whether you need to relieve the animal of the pain or go forward with your study. So that it may come to a certain point that your animals may not be able to move or to eat. So that time you cannot go forward with the study. So those are the things where you have to be ethical and use your own common sense, and also you're compassionate. You should be compassionate to know that this cannot go forward. They have to have freedom to express normal behavior. They have to have freedom from fear and distress. So these two dogs, when we see the picture, they are very lonely. So one would express his loneliness by howling and shouting, and one would do this. He would destroy the whole place, and then he would be sitting there, because they just want attention, and they have not been given the place where they can live happily. That's why they are behaving like this. So you should find out even when you are doing your experiments with animals are sentient beings who have got feelings, and who are equally susceptible to pain and distress as human beings. So we have to be compassionate when we are working with them, and since we are getting so much from them, we should at least do that much. That is our moral responsibility. So these two gentlemen, Russell and Birch, they introduced the concept of 3 R's. This is replacement, whether you can replace the animal experimentation with anything that is in vitro and that can be sure that you can come to a logical conclusion. Reduction of the use of number of animals, and then refinement of the procedures. So this is a book which was written by them, the principles of human and experimental technique. So this is how you implemented the 3 R's. So the 3 R's are very important in case of animal research. You can also replace them by using non-human vertebrate animals, and you can use live cephalopods. You can use this zebra fishes for your experiments. They have got a very short life cycle. Even you can see the reproductive toxicology, everything you can see in the fishes also. So if it is possible, you can use those animals. And in our time when we were studying in college or in school, we used to have these defections with the frogs and all that. But nowadays, I don't think any of the educational institutes are doing that, because it is not allowed now. So there is a website which is called the Digital Frog. We can even buy this software, and then everything can be done digitally, and you can it helps a lot. It helps the students a lot. And if you'd be interested in teaching your students, or in future, you can visit this site, the Digital Frog, and then you can look it up. And then the design of animal experiments. This is very important. The design of animal experiments, you have to find the optimum number of animals. How to do that? There are many statistical tools now available now which you can use. And this is the And the refinement reduces the total number as well as the quality of the data, avoids suffering, good husbandry is given, and understanding what an animal needs, that is refinement. And there are lots of trainings which are given in, even in India, there is one of a kind training, and I was very fortunate to have been able to attend that training. It is called European Federation of Laboratory Animal Sciences Association C-level course, which takes place every year in Chennai, and there they give you a very intensive training on laboratory animals. And when we started our research, we never had this formal training in animal handling and research. I mean, it was a very difficult time for us, and then we learned by lots of, making lots of errors and all, but still we somehow we were able to do it. But if we had the opportunity of going for such courses, or even if our academic curriculum had a particular subject for animals, laboratory animals, that would have been very helpful. And you can even do your master degree in laboratory animal science, which is very interesting, which is not, I think, not given in India at this moment of time, but later on it might come. And so in a parallel universe, it might so happen that the animals may be doing research on us also. So we have to apply ethics in use for animal experimentations. They have to have deep ethical consideration for those animals. And even in the national level, there is this CPCSEA guidelines for laboratory animal facility. And there are guidelines for care and use of animals in scientific research. And the ICMR guidelines are there for use of animals, laboratory animals in medical colleges. These are the national rules, acts and rules. Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act 1960, the breeding of and experiments on animals. Breeding of and experiments on animals, they are amended to 2001 and 2006. So you can visit this website, which is known as the CPCACA website, Committee for the Purpose of Control and Supervision of Experiments on Animals. There, everything about animal experimentation, you will find whatever is relevant in India. You will find the acts and the rules, their guidelines, how to go about it. Everything is being given there. So there you will find this compendium, which you can download it, and then you can go through it. You will be able to know many things through this one. And what is the purpose of ethical? There's a form, you have to fill up a form before you go for any animal experimentation. That is the ethical evaluation, for ethical evaluation form, to review and approve all research proposals involving use of animals for experiments, to ensure proper care, use, and humane treatment of animals used in research, education, and testing, to ensure compliance to all guidelines, regulations, and policies framed by CPCSEA. So, alternatives not involving animal testing should be given due and full consideration. So you have to, these are the points. We have to undertake the research only after all the considerations. Animals on the lowest phylogenetic scale with the least degree of sentience, which may give scientifically valid results, should be used for any experimental procedure. Minimum numbers of animals should be used to give statistically valid results. The results should be statistically valid also. The researchers should minimize the pain, distress, and suffering of animals and provide quality environment and quality of life to animals. So you can visit this site called Norecopa. There the 3R guide database is there. So you can visit the site and you can know about it. It's giving you information on the various websites. nc3rs.org.uk. Here also you can go and find out about using the 3Rs, what we should do. There are various, software also which will help you to design your experiment. So this is again Norina. This is an English language database containing information on 30,000 audiovisual aids that may be used as alternatives or supplements to use of animals in education, training, including dissection alternatives at all levels, from junior school to the university. So this is where I end my presentation. I am so sorry that you had to bear with me, and there was a lot of disturbance also. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, to Assam Downtown University, the Dean, Dr. B. Day, and also all the staff of Assam Downtown University. Thank you so much, and thank you for bearing with me. I may be able to answer some of your questions if you ask me now.
Thank you, ma'am.
thank you, ma'am, for sharing your valuable slides and a lot of information. So, with your permission, if I can start the question and answer round, with your permission. Yes, okay. So I would like to request all the participants, and if anybody is having any question, they can write in the chat box or can directly ask ma'am. Meanwhile, ma'am, I would like to ask a question from my side that whether you have mentioned about the 3 R's in the animal research. So one of them was a replacement of animal experiments with in vitro techniques. So, ma'am, is it practically possible in the near future that we could fully replace the animal experiments with in
Yeah,
vitro?
this is an often asked question, you know. It is a replacement of animals not only with in vitro techniques but also with invertebrates, or you know, the animals which are lower in the phylogenetic scale. But I don't think we are all quite ready, you know, to go for to completely replace animals in animal experimentation. Though we have been successful to some extent, because you know, I mean, personally feel that whenever some disease conditions happen in any physiological being, it all takes, you know, there's all the functions work together to build, to form the disease, for the disease to form, and also for the therapies to work. So an isolated system containing only one cell system may not be a replacement for animal research. That's what I feel.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. One more question that I received in my chat box is, ma'am, what is the criteria, means how to select particular animal for conducting specific research experiments, ma'am?
Yeah, actually, you know, for that, you know, I cannot give you a straightforward answer that for this disease you use only this animals. But when you go through the literature, you know, when you plan your study, when you go through the literature, you will find out that a particular kind of strain of animal is not suitable for that disease model. Okay, for example, when my own experience when I was doing my research a long time back, when I was doing my master degrees and the research during my master degree, I found out that Vista rat was not suitable for doing research on arthritis, you know. So arthritis research, it was not suitable at all. You need I am not able to recall the particular strain. You need some other strain of animals for that. So arthritis is not easily produced in case of Vista rats.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. So any more questions? If we could take a few questions more. Okay, ma'am, one more question we are having, that for toxicity study, what are the software we can use, ma'am, for toxicity study?
Most used software, no, there is this OECD guideline. When you follow OECD guideline for toxicity study, no, especially when you do the acute toxicity study, there is one particular software which even me, I'm frequently using. It is known as AOT 425. The toxicity guideline is TG 425, no. So in when you visit the OECD website, there you will find AO software AOT 425. So when you open that software, it will give you a starting dose, a limit dose of 2000 or 5000 mg per kg, or you can start with a dose which is, if your your test compound is highly toxic, you know already some background information about that compound, you can start from a very low dose and then come up to different doses. So as soon as you enter that dose and you say that the animal didn't die or did die, you know, there are cross and zero you can add, and then it will suggest you another dose. So those kind of things are there in that software. So anyone who wants to do toxicity studies, if at all you are confused, you can get in touch with me. I will forward you that link which you can forward to you that link which you can follow for doing the toxicity test. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Very useful information shared by ma'am. So, any more questions? If anyone is having any more questions. Okay, so I think ma'am, the question answer round. I should conduct the question answer round. We have come to the conclusion of the today's session, and I would like to request our honorable dean sir to please share a few words on the second day of this virtual conclave webinar. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Parikshit. Really, it's been wonderful journey till now, because from the day one we have started with very renowned speaker and very experienced person like Dr. Batra, Dr. T.K. Maiti, Dr. Ghosh. We are continuing with the same pace and same integrity, and I'm sure that all the participants are getting huge benefit from all the sessions what we have till now we have completed, we have listened to. So today the third session, which third session, right? Yes, third session. Dr. Bhutia, but her topic is little out of the box, but I would say that that is very pertinent as and when the as and when it comes to science technology related students and researchers, PhD scholars, even the PG students and UG students, wherein they are, their course curriculum are designed in such a way that they are supposed to handle the animal very frequently in their third year, final years, classes, course curriculum. So there, what they need to, ensure, and what are the things what they can do. They can, they can go for alternatives, and even the teachers who are teaching those subjects, what they can adapt, to avoid or minimize the animal handling, so that we can protect the ethical aspect of the animal handling part. So that thing has been beautifully been portrayed by Dr. Bhutia. Thank you so much. And I'm sure that previous to that, I didn't have that opportunity to interact with the scientists of DRDO Tejpur. But although our students, PG students, are going there every year and doing their projects, so now today I can clearly say that yes, our students are in very good and safe hands.
Thank you
So
so
they
much,
are
sir.
really
That's so much
learning a lot from all of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So with this, once again, thank you for accepting our invitation and coming out with such a beautiful topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for invitation and having us here. Thank you.
Okay. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. With this, we are in the verge of completing our second day also, with the hope that tomorrow will be also a very informative session. So the last session, the feedback link will be shared very soon, and I request everyone to please fill the feedback form. And tomorrow we will have another new sets of speaker with us. So there will be 3 speakers tomorrow who will be delivering their valuable research work experience with us. So I request everyone to please join tomorrow. That is our last and final day, which will be followed by the valedictory session. And yes, so I hope to see everyone tomorrow. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.